Who are the playoff sleepers in the country this year? The ones that are outside the top 15 that you could really see knocking on the door of the playoff. And I don't mean G5 teams, because there are going to be G5 teams, at least one of them guaranteed to make it, that may not be in the top 10 or top 15. I mean, P4 teams that are out of the top 15 right now that you could see not just contending for, but like grabbing a playoff spot. Virginia Tech's one of them, not the only one, but they're plus 950 to make the playoff at FanDuel right now. JP Poll's got them 31st in the country to start the season. Now, keep in mind, to my friends, that is the model speaking. That's not me speaking. For all you know, I've got you top 5. But the model, the filthy, disgusting model here, which has made us money like 9 years in a row, has them at 31. Top 5 returning production, top 25 rush offense last year, and I think they'll be better this year. Pass rush is good. Totally in touch with who they are. This is not a team that'll search for its identity. They got a strong corner duo, and this is a team that goes to Miami September 27th. And also, they get Clemson at home. Huge marquee spotlight game for the program, November 9th. If they split the Miami and Clemson games, they can make the ACC championship game, and maybe they're in either way. So that's definitely a playoff sleeper, which feels good to say about Virginia Tech. In Orlando, there's another one. Gus Malzahn just kind of sneaking around with a transfer quarterback. Where have we heard that before? They are plus 700 at Central Florida to make the playoff. JP Poll has them at 27. This is a borderline top 25 power-rated team. This is not a bad team at all. They replenished their team with the portal. They had a solid haul there. If you go to their schedule, they've got Utah in their last game of the year. I don't want to skip ahead, but I kind of am. They got Utah last game of the year, and it's a Friday game. So Utah, I think, is coming off Iowa State at home, and then they travel cross-country, short rest, to finish the season. Now, the plus side is they get to play in Orlando November 29th. But the downside is Utah would love to flip that, because if you get the team from Orlando and make them play in Salt Lake in late November, well, that's wonderful. But there is no weather edge for you there. You got a travel disadvantage, actually. Point being, Central Florida could mess around with KJ Jefferson at quarterback and could find a way to win a bunch of one-possession games, of which there will be plenty in the Big 12 this year. Gus Malzahn, man, he's done it before. He could do it again. At Iowa, what, Josh? Iowa. Outside everyone's top 15, that's a playoff dark horse. Now, the last thing most of you read about Iowa was how bad Cade McNamara's stat line was from their scrimmage this past weekend. And while that looks bad, I'm actually picking them to be a playoff dark horse because of how bad it looks. Because I don't think Cade McNamara gives them the best chance to win. I think Brendan Sullivan does, the transfer from Northwestern. But I need someone to realize that up there. And that someone is Kirk Ferentz. And it may be that McNamara was so bad in the scrimmage this past week. This is not a knock on him. In the words of Vince Vaughn in Couples Retreat, I know my truth. And I think I know Iowa's truth. And Iowa's truth is that I think the listed backup gives them a better chance to win. And if I'm right, he doesn't need to be Joe Burrow 2.0. He just needs to make good decisions, manage the offense, dump the ball off when it needs to be dumped off. That's the job of an Iowa quarterback, because this defense is rock solid again, and they've got a workable schedule. And if they go 10-2, they are a playoff team. So can Iowa go 10-2? That's what we're looking for here. Can they go 10-2? They don't even have to make the Big Ten title game. If they can be 10-2, they can be right there in the playoff hunt. And I think Brendan Sullivan probably is the quarterback if they are in that hunt. And lastly, Oklahoma State plus 700 to make the playoff. Is that what I'm seeing here, Jesse? They are 23rd in the JP poll, so this is a borderline top 20 team. I got the most experienced offensive line in the history of organized football. I've got Ollie Gordon back there again. Just named the top running back in the country last year. He's back again, and their schedule is really beautiful because there's a game against Utah the fourth week of the season that's going to be a monster. Utah at Oklahoma State, and then the very next week, 2-week stretch that'll define their season probably. They got Utah at home. They go to Kansas State. Split those and go win the Big 12 championship game, and you'll be in the playoff. It's as simple as that. So those are some playoff contenders that I've got my eye on right now.